So Matt Patrick, I'm here. John Carr, not here. Paul Hale, not here. Daniel Hunt, not here. Dan Tully, who's not here? Matt Tiskus, thank you. Ken Moore, Lynn Moore, she's on the way. Christiana Keeler, here. Thank you. Becky Green, here. Randy Perham, here. Okay, so we have quorum, got a few people missing. Okay, so I'm going to go real quick. We're not going to have a long meeting today. There's three things that we set out for our job for this cycle at our last meeting. And those three things are to advocate for our top 10. So we finished those up at our Zoom meeting on September, I think, 9th or whatever date that was. And I've written a press release, which I promised you guys I would do, work together with RPT on that. We'd agreed to hold it until after the election because we didn't want it to get kind of lost in the shuffle. So after the election, we did that. We wrote up a press release and gave it to Abraham, and we ran into a little bit of problem. Abraham and General Counsel Rachel were a little worried that we were stepping on LP's toes. So that doesn't make me the happiest because we're platform committee anyway, and they're supposed to come from platform. So it's a little backwards, I think. But they wanted to. So they asked me to write a resolution to get the top 10 list approved, which I did and submitted to resolutions committee. They're going to be meeting next door in a couple of minutes, so I need to make sure that when my resolution comes up, one would have thought. One would have thought. So anyway. So hopefully it doesn't turn into a big, fiasco. That's my worry. So if I'm looking a little grayer than usual, which I know it'll be hard to tell, but that's why. Okay, so the next thing that we've got. The next thing that we're working on is the technical aspect of being creating a new draft of resolutions to be submitted to the commission. So my report to you guys, we did get with that, and Matt and Karen Marshall and I worked on drafting up basically something that formalizing what we had last time with the resolution builder, taking that same structure, modifying it a little bit, and then Matt created an AI tool so that when people are speaking, when you're an SD chair, a county chair, or a PC chair, coming to your SD convention, you start typing up a resolution using this thing, it will look at our platform and automatically populate what they're saying and tell you if we've already got a blank on that, what the blank number is, and if there's 4 or 5 blanks, so if you type in something like healthcare, it's going to give you like the whole healthcare section, and as you refine that, you say healthcare for kids or gender modification or something, it'll shrink it down and say these are the 2 or 3 or 25 blanks that it applies to. So it'll be real helpful, and we hope that will help screen out a lot of the duplicate blanks that get submitted. Because we get about 4,000 or 5,000 blanks submitted every year, or every cycle. So we can cut that down a little bit, that would be a good thing. unfortunately, Matt Dorsey has other commitments and he works full time and he's also going to graduate school. So he couldn't take it any further than that. So I looked around and I've got somebody else I'm talking to right now who I think can do the other parts of it, the rest of it that has to be done so we can get the pool completed. I was hoping he was going to be here today, couldn't make it, so I'll give you guys an update on that just via email as soon as he agrees, and we'll get that started. But I feel okay about where we are in the process, and I'm still pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to get something put through and still meet our timeline. So the hard part right now is just getting an idea of the scope of work, because I'm still very non-technical. So when somebody says to me, how many hours is it going to take? Damned if I know. I have no idea. I have no idea how the whole thing works. I'm just an user. So, we'll get some help on that. And there's enough people that are interested in talking to that I think we'll get that kind of zeroed in. And I'll have a better update on that for you, or get a better update on that for you as soon as I can. Okay, the third thing is our videos. So Becky has done some videos before for her county, and she sent me some of those, and the comments we had on them were all right. So there's some audio quality with a couple of them, and so if you use a phone mic or something like that, it doesn't work as well as if you've got a collar mic on. And you've got to get the lighting right. I talked to Abraham about it. He kind of likes the idea, but he's also wants to make sure they're very professional looking. So he's kind of put that as our bar. So, I've had people say, hey, we can do the ones where you walk and are recording, and we don't want anything like that, even though those are pretty popular. So we're going to have to set something up. There is a guy in Dallas, so Becky's is offered kindly to help us out. There's a person in Dallas who does creates commercials professionally, has a company that does it, and they've been doing some volunteer work for conservative issues and causes and candidates lately. So I know somebody knows them. I got to get hooked up and go meet with them and see if they might be able to help us. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're still trying to source a way to get things done. Christiana, you had said last time that you had somebody who was with an advocacy group and you were ready to go get a commercial done and take it.
Almost. So I've kind of had a slowdown on this in a minute, but on the founding documents in high school, teaching the founding documents, I reached out to Patriot Academy, and they've reached back out to me, and they might try to connect with wall builders, and we'll see if we can put, because they already have content. So that, because I've taken their global citizenship class, they have fantastic content already. And in my mind, I thought, well, they could just piece together some things, and at the beginning, we'd intro the plane, and then have it professionally plug in these other pieces on why. So that was kind of my thought, because I'm like Abraham, in my mind, I thought, I'm not gonna make a video. It wouldn't be very good at all. I would look for professional help. And then the other one was a friend of mine who contacted me with an organization. I don't remember their name, and I should, but that was on the CLT, classical learning training. But that plank is complicated because it's not just classical learning, there's something else in it, so I'd have to have two different companies helping me, and that just kind of got overwhelming. So but that's what I was thinking on that. And so I just have to reach out to, back to the teaching founding documents. I just have to reach back out to the Patriot Academy with just kind of bullet points, what I'm thinking of, what the video, what kind of high level, what I think the video needs to be in, and then they're going to talk to Rick Green.
I'm friends with Tim Martin, so if I can help facilitate.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
Yeah, that nails it right there.
Yeah.
So let me know how I can help.
Well,
You guys
maybe
work
can
on that?
Help me.
And you guys work on that, Matt, let me know.
With your neighbors.
Let me know just how much he wants to sponsor, because if he can do one, that's great, but if he could do 11 or 12 or 13, even better.
So, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
If this is Jordan. Jordan, what's your last name? Leedy.
Mhm.
Okay, she has taken James Wasolik's spot,
Yes,
he's
she
our
has.
comms director.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to introduce her to the committee. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but we have sort of a
Green room.
studio, green room at RPT offices.
Green screen.
Yeah, and right now I think it's maybe being used as a storage closet. But anyway, I know that James Wasolik did some podcast, video, audio, whatever, with Karen Marshall and Virgil Cruz during our last term. And so now I'm wondering if Jordan, maybe we need to bring her into what we're trying to do and see what she's able to offer us in terms of what we already have in hand, and she's on staff.
Yep, and absolutely. I talked to James about that originally, and you and I, James, talked about that some. So we do have that capability here. We need to clean it out and make it use available. So I'm going to ask you to talk in just a second about what you guys can do. But the restriction on this that we talked about was you got to be here to use it. And so we could, it's a burden on everybody, so I don't know, it kind of depends on what your personal situation is. If you want to come in a day early, stay late after we adjourn on Saturday, it kind of depends on what their availability is too. I think James had said it's better to do it after the meeting because before the meeting, they're stressed trying to get everything ready for this. So it's a little harder for them if we do it, if you like come in early and try to do it. So we just need to work with them cooperatively, but if we want to do that, they can do shoots for us too.
Is there any value in saying, let's do one collectively to figure out what it takes to make it, get it to look right, instead of all of us working separately? So then that way we can go to the powers that be and say, does this meet the standard of what they're looking for? Because I agree, for the professional piece has to be there.
Yeah.
If we're going to put an RPT name on it.
Yeah. So that's a good point, Matt. But so I guess my thinking on that is, this is not really my forte. I'm scrambling to try and get any resource I can.
Okay.
That's just why I'm opening it up and saying if you've got somebody or know somebody, let's figure out how we do it. And let's get one done. And if it works out right, then they're going to have a whole committee of brand new best friends.
Yeah.
Whoever can do it.
And
right.
another thought too
So-
is like, what's the length we were thinking on the video?
So no more than, I think we said 15 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want them to be long because you
Right.
lose people, they don't listen to
Right.
the whole thing, an hour long, 30-minute long,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
too long. I wouldn't do one more than 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
my experience with it has been purely amateurish. During COVID,
Yeah.
we were trying to come up with a way to reach people,
Yeah.
and we started making videos in our house. They were not professional videos. They got the job done. They got it done. And so that's, it's where there's a problem, we figure out a solution.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we can take what we've learned and we can get some help from people that are smarter and younger than Matt and I are anyway.
Yeah.
Matt and I are like, we're too old for this.
Fair enough,
you know,
yeah.
But we just need to bring in the know-how to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's exactly what we need to do. I think we need to just do one.
Yeah, whoever we can find, whoever wants to go first, let's get one done, let's see how it goes. And we'll learn as we do, or as we go through that process. And then you can share those lessons that you had. I think it would be more problematic to try to coordinate like 10 of us with, okay, we're all doing one shoot, we're going to keep having meetings.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think that'd be problematic. So let's just figure out how to get the first one done, and then we'll kind of go from there, Matt, I think. That does bring up a point. One thing that I really want to talk to you guys about is I've started thinking more about putting my first one together. Oh, and I told you guys I was going to start this a few months ago, but that I might be delayed for the surgery. I had my surgery. I'm mostly mobile, so I don't have any more excuses. So we need to start working on this. I'm going to start working on this and getting them done. So I've been thinking about that. And I think we need to script things out, because as I sit down, and like you were mentioning, Christiana, people want to know what you're going to say, and you can't just sit down and start blabbing over the camera. You've got to know what you're going to say and rehearse a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you guys, and this is my ask for you, my homework assignment for everybody, start scripting out the video presentation for your priority, your top 10 list plan. So go ahead and start writing it up. I'm not saying that I'm going to, edit everybody's, but before you go to shoot it, or arrange to shoot it, I do want to see from you what you're doing, what you're saying, how it's going to work. I've been writing my whole professional life, not this kind of stuff, but I'm used to going back and forth on documents and sort of changing things and polishing things up. So I'll probably do that with you a little bit. Don't be offended. You can't be that way for us to work together, I think.
It might be good to share with the whole group, either the outline of what we're thinking.
We
Like,
could.
I don't mind doing it. I'd like some insight from other perspectives.
Yep.
And share an outline, and then after you get the outline, kind of, here's what I'm thinking of getting this point across, maybe describing the problem in today's terms, what's happening at the schools now.
Yep.
And then, here's why it's so important, and then here's a plank we have. You may have the plank at the beginning and at the end, but
Yep.
that's where my brain goes, but maybe there's a better way to do it, and
So-
I'm open to feedback.
I think that's a great idea.
So I will tell you what my thoughts are on that. If that's the sort of thing, so my view is each one of you have signed up to take on one plank. It's your plank. I don't want to force you into format that you're uncomfortable with. If you're good enough and you're confident enough and you just want to do it by yourself and you're knowledgeable enough about that, go ahead. If you want additional feedback and you want to open it up and you're willing to take comments from everybody, that's fine with me too. I just didn't want to sort of, open everybody up and then we're having 10 crossways discussions on 10 different items and it gets really complicated, it takes up a lot of time, and I know we're all pressed for time. So do it the way you want to do it. I have no objection to your sharing with the whole group. But if you feel confident in what you're doing, I just want to see it for sure. And we'll polish it up one way or another, whether it's me or whether it's the whole group. That's fine. Okay, so let's just kind of go from that perspective. Okay, yeah, Becky.
Do you want to let Jordan talk about what,
Yes, what do we have, what resources do we have? So let's kind of talk about that.
what can you do for us,
And
Jordan?
what can
Do
you
you know
do?
what we're trying to do?
Yeah.
No, explanation.
Stand up and come over this way.
Can I get a short explanation of the project?
Yep, so the project that we're doing, we have, you're familiar with the platform, right?
Right.
So for advocating for the platform, we decided last December and March, sort of the former SREC before we got a few of our new members, that the way we would advocate for the platform is that we would limit ourselves to 10 planks that we, the committee, would select, and then we would work on trying to get those enacted into law and publicizing them. So enacting into law, similar to what LP does, but they're different planks, and we can talk a little bit about that. But we're also going to use this new idea that I think Becky was the one that brought to us of let's do some videos and let's advertise things. And since Abraham has got the idea of having RPTU, it just kind of dovetailed real nicely for us so that we can produce content on platform and put it on RPTU. So that's really what we want to do. We're going to do it for these 10 specific planks, a list of which is here, which I can share with you, and also on other things. So I was going to do one just on here's what the Platform Advocacy Committee does, and here's what the platform is. Other videos like here's how the platform convention process works. Here's how the platform gets created. Here's how other things have happened over the years that are related to sort of how we do things at convention. And if it's successful, then we may spill over and have, or even help other people, like the Rules Committee do it and LP Committee do it, stuff like that. So this is kind of where we're getting started. We're going to incubate it. And if we can make it work and produce good content, then we can expand our reach and expand what the SREC, different committees do also.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, that's. That definitely got the gears turning. Explain to me RPTU. Is that YouTube? Is that our YouTube?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
something that Abraham has said he wanted to sort of set up as like an educational bank of educational videos for, I'm
Anybody.
it's for anybody, but it's basically for county chairs and precinct chairs, so it's just a way to educate everybody on what the party is, what we do, how we function, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. So that's a little bit of news to me, but love the idea. We can also, of course, blast them on our social medias. We have a TikTok now, as of this last week. So if y'all want it on TikTok, we can put it on TikTok. And then our YouTube is also in the works. We're going to be more active on there. But I think this is a wonderful idea, and resource-wise, we can make it possible. I'm not sure if y'all would want to travel to Austin, because I know everyone's not from there. But we do have that room. We do have video equipment. We have mic equipment. Lighting. We do have lighting. We have the works, honestly. So this is very possible. If you want to use those resources, more than welcome to help y'all out with that.
So if someone wanted to just like come on an off day,
Right.
were you going to meet them and
Yes.
coach them through, and how long does it take to shoot a 15-minute video?
Right.
Tell us that.
15-minute video. I'm not too sure how long that would take to shoot. Assuming there's minimal edits, probably around 30 minutes, but I'm more than happy to help, be it a Saturday. Let's get it done. I'll be ready to film for sure.
I would think it also depend on reshoots.
Reshoots?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Or you might have segments, like we might, I was thinking that my plank is medical freedom. And so I would love to interview Dr. Robin Armstrong, our national committeeman, for talk about what he does and what he experienced and why we're so big on medical freedom and the need for legislation that secures our medical freedom. So, we might have different types of videos where we have segments that we need to edit and pull together.
That sounds more like a podcast style video, which once again, we do have a podcast room set up. We have it set up for video and audio. So that is something that we can do in that RPT room.
So what if instead of, because I can't imagine sitting and talking for 15 minutes, much less having somebody watch me for 15 minutes. So what about bringing in other people and having different cues? So we might piece together, like one of us doing an introduction, and then we have somebody else who's a professional or subject matter expertise coming in and doing something, or maybe they shoot it somewhere else and they give us the video. Can we make all of that work together?
Oh, absolutely. And I can be kind of an intermediate contact for any capital staff or rep or senator that y'all want. I've DM'd people on Twitter and they respond because of course they want to interact with us, they want to work with us. So if that's something kind of more those podcaster, kind of conversational type of video, we can absolutely bring in some more recognizable names, more recognizable faces. I absolutely see that working.
Okay, so do you have like an RTV degree?
No, I was an advertising major.
Okay. All right, so aside, let me go another direction, because you said something that sparked my curiosity. And I think Matt's going to ask this question too, or maybe you're thinking about it, I couldn't tell. Can we offer our services to representatives that are willing to work with us to do podcasts for their bills they're sponsoring? Are we trying to get them on our website?
That's a wonderful idea. That's, I think, a chairman question.
I think that is a
As
chairman
far as
question.
how much we're willing to kind of showcase
So
them.
you asked that question.
I got you. I will ask them.
Yeah, so that could be good. And then we could also, if whoever's sponsoring your bill, they could get maybe some screen time and we can improve their visibility too. So we have something to offer.
It'd be great for all the legislative priorities.
Yeah, we have something that we can
do
do.
that, where it's automatically reports out to the public, and it stops a lot of antagonism against a certain bill.
Yeah.
If you get your first say out there, it stops a lot of the opposition.
Yeah. So this is something that we can really utilize, and other committees can benefit from it too.
Therefore, all the other representatives can, here's my ordinance.
Yeah, so it'll help the visibility of the representatives and the senators and
If
whatever.
it's 5 minutes of their time,
Mhm.
that it's almost just an extended commercial, is what it goes down to.
Right.
But they can get encapsulated in that 5 minutes of time, and one is what their bill is and why it is a certain way.
Yeah.
And then you start getting people where that's what, they know exactly what that guy said.
Yeah.
It's not even through some other intermediary that's coming from national, there's sponsoring that bill.
Yeah, and frankly, one of the things that I'm trying to figure out is how we as RPT add value to our elected representatives. And so if we can offer something like this, it's a big value add for them. And, because I'm also about how do we unify the party? How do we get everybody to start working together with us and working with us? And if we do that, if we're offering value to them and they see a reason to work with us, then hopefully that also starts donations flowing again, and it just kind of brings the party back together, which is what I want to do
Well, if we do it.
as a conservative party.
If we do
So-
it back to the legislature like this, it's also a great avenue, and it's current through the RPT where it gets back to the counties and all, and to
Exactly.
the constituents.
Exactly.
And we can flash out to all the precinct chairs, hey, these are the newest videos that have come out on this bill, this bill, this bill.
Yep.
So you start to build that army of support
Yep.
to do it.
Well, if she puts it on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and
Twitter.
all these things, stuff will go viral in a hurry.
Yep.
That's Jordan's job right there.
Is that your job?
And that's one of
Part
them.
of it.
And this could be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it could really go somewhere.
Okay, so guys, I want us to be first. We need to get, you guys need to get, we need to come up with, shoot our video and getting one of these top 10 things out there.
I live 10 minutes from the capital, from the headquarters, so I'm always in the footprint. So whenever we, have something that we want to throw out there, and need somebody to be the spokesman and talk, I can run over there and coordinate with her, and we can make that happen anytime, really.
All right, so quick question on scripts. When do you guys think you'll have your scripts together? How long will it take you to write a script?
I can probably have at least a concept script for you to look at. And get your reaction for it, like a week from now.
Week? How about you?
We're working together.
He's got you covered.
We had a whole
No, we
3-minute
apparently.
conversation before you started the meeting.
I've already got one. I got one working.
What? Love that.
Yeah, I got one.
So when's it gonna be finished?
Well,
Give me a deadline.
Well, we talked about doing.
He said a week, so I'm gonna go with a week.
A week for the whole thing?
That's what
He
he
didn't
said.
say which week, though.
A concept.
Exactly.
A week from now, that is a week.
What's your opinion on those whiteboard explainer videos?
I personally am a visual learner, so I like them. So,
What's your opinion on them?
I feel like they might be a little bit more difficult to execute, especially on
Probably
the
true.
editing side and just the
Oh.
logistical side, coming up with that much content.
You'd have to have a lot of expertise. If you could do it well, from both the
Yeah.
execution and the editing and the,
There's programs that do all that stuff, though. Anyway, okay, I'm just curious.
do we have access to the program? Do you have it?
Sure.
Okay, well. My non-technical abilities show it out.
Yeah.
Ms. Keeler,
It'll take me a couple weeks.
couple weeks? Okay. Randy?
I go on vacation tomorrow.
Well, that's not a good start.
It'll probably be a few weeks for me.
2 weeks?
Yeah, because I gotta talk to Dan, see where he's at on that particular.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Ms. Morris, are you between bites, or should I come back to you?
I'm, well, I have medical freedom with Becky, so Becky, you just tell me what you want me to do.
Okay.
And then I'm on another one with you, and you just tell me what you want me to do.
I see how that works. Very slick. Yeah. Becky?
well, Melinda and I will get together, and we both live in the Houston area, so I will tell you this, I'm extremely busy between now through like the middle of January. So it's probably gonna be February before I can get any serious,
So let's say
Contact
8
them.
weeks for you.
I would say, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just because I don't have any time to work on it right now.
I know, I get it. Okay. Mr. Tully?
Whatever you say.
Need it? All right, so for me, I'm gonna say 2 weeks also for, wait a minute, I've got two now.
You've got annexation, de-annexation.
I've got annexation, de-annexation, Texas Health Savings Account.
You know, I need.
I've got people that are gonna help me with both of those, subject matter experts, so if I'm gonna say 2 weeks and then, might be a little longer before I get them roped in, because we got some logistics to work out.
So I'm gonna try to mention an outline of what my thinking is on the savings account, just get it to you, let you start looking at it.
Yeah, you and I just be talking over the next 2 weeks, get something put together. Okay. Okay, so you guys just get that to me, via email, and then we'll call and we'll chat about it and just start trying to get it going. Okay?
Just
Mr.
a
Pierre?
second. I'm not officially on this committee,
Right.
but I have a very important issue with regards to the platform as it was passed at the convention. Can I walk on that? This is with regards to
Depends on
judicial
the issue.
candidates.
And judicial candidates?
Judicial candidates.
Yeah.
For
What-
judges, district judges, county judges, and courts of appeal judges. It puts some restraints on them that sort of clash with what the requirements are.
I remember your
judicial
testifying,
ethics.
I remember your testifying on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so if you can assign that to me, I'd be more than happy to do it.
So-
And I could probably get you something before the end of December.
Well, let's talk offline, because I need to know more about what you're gonna do.
Okay.
Obviously, the platform has been passed and it cannot be amended between
No,
now and
but
next
we can be
convention.
prepared for it next time.
So if you're wanting to work on something for 26, that's probably yes, but. so-
We
so
start early, and I think it's extremely important, because I come from Bear County,
Mhm.
and Bear County used to have all Republican judges. And fortunately, we now have 4 Republican judges on the Fourth Circuit, on the Fourth Court of Appeals. But we still have a county courthouse filled with Democrats. And not only are they Democrats, they're totally unqualified.
Yeah,
And
Same in
the
Dallas.
important thing is that if you start fiddling around with putting political, rules on candidates for the judiciary, then we're not going to get good judges. We're going to get nothing but party hacks and those that are not qualified. So we don't want to bump heads with judicial ethics and with other things that are very important. And the platform as it stands right now certainly does.
okay, yeah, we'll work on that then.
Yeah.
Okay,
So by the end of December, I can have something for you, probably even sooner.
okay. All right, so that was really my big thing is let's start working on our videos. The other thing obviously is legislation. Does everybody here know how to use TLO?
You're what now?
Does everybody know how to use TLO?
TLO, no. I don't
Sort
know.
of.
Texas
Texas.
legislature on.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Where you look up bills and stuff. So you've got to know how to use that.
Well, no, I just,
Yeah. Okay, so Tom Novus has done last year for LPs, a big spreadsheet where he kept track of all the bills. He's doing that again. I need to talk to him to see if he'll do that for ours too. Now we've got our top 10 pending approval by the SREC. It's a little bit under my heart.
We can't tell.
I know, right? I hide it. So let's get that done, and then we need to start. You guys need to start working on your bills, and then I need somebody on the committee to help me with that because I need some more help. I kind of follow all of it. So I need somebody who will help sort of guide us or take responsibility for keeping that up to date, working with Tom or making sure that we're talking to each other so that we keep a list of all the bills and so we can talk about all those things as they come up. Kind of like LP does, which, you know, everybody's working on their own priority. We talk about it as a group, right? So who of you is going to volunteer to step up and do that for me? I'm not looking at you all the time.
Help track bills.
Yep. So,
Okay, I can, put together a spreadsheet for, election integrity that I'm gonna be maintaining. And I've got, some programs written to help me do that, and I can do it for us too.
okay, cool. Thank you, Ken. Okay. So track
Can
all
I
the
chime
bills.
in? Let me just say something here, because I think.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So Ken, you'll track for all 10 of our priorities. or
Well,
all
I'll tell you
10 of
what
our-
I plan to do is put together let's just do a Google sheet. All right, I can share that with the whole committee.
Yep.
And it'll have, you know, I'll do a search by subject and using a few of those tools, and then put together a Google sheet that has, you know, bill number, author, relating to, blah, blah, blah. But everybody can access and look at it.
Good.
And I can, you know, do different tabs, look at different subjects.
Okay. Yeah, if you would just build that out, and then if any of you, in your efforts with the legislature or any member of the legislature come across a bill that isn't on the list, just make sure you get it to Ken so he knows how to get it to the list. Okay. Yeah, Keegan?
Well, one thing that I wanted to say, recently I've been using in my practice this GPT, and if you put in all of the required things, it can do it for you. It can go to TLO, Texas Legislature Online, and every day you just update it and you don't have to do anything, except check it to make sure that it's correct. So whoever's doing it, and if you're familiar with ChatGPT, you can just put that in there and find out which bills have been filed and which ones are new and which ones have been withdrawn, and then what happens.
I'm sorry, I may have misheard you. I thought you just said you volunteered to do that.
No, I volunteered.
I thought you got it.
I might be able to help out.
Chico is going to.
That was Stephanie.
That's amazing.
Excuse me, is this?
Cool.
He
Is
doesn't
this
know how to spell
CRC
it.
committee? I'm the wrong.
I will put together a sheet. If somebody sees something that you think belongs on there, send it to me.
Right,
All right, and I'll put it on there for you.
Yep.
okay.
Whether you're using
And
ChatGPT
you
or
got
not.
whatever tool you want to use, do so with my blessing.
Okay, so bills and outline or script for each of your videos in a couple of weeks with exceptions. Any other questions about other things we're doing? I didn't send you guys the press release. It's real short. It basically just takes our top 10 and it has a couple of introductory paragraphs that she and I wrote together. And it should be in the resolution folder if you want to go look at it. But if we get it approved, hopefully that will go out here in the next day or two. Or probably our first part of next week. What else we got?
Is it clear enough that it doesn't confuse people with the legislative priorities?
What's that?
Is it clear enough to where it doesn't confuse the issue with the legislative priorities?
Well, I mean, I think it is, because it talks specifically about platform committee and these top 10 planks for the platform committee, platform advocacy committee. It doesn't say anything about legislative priorities, and what I'm thinking that they may ask me to do, and which I'm happy to do, is to put something in there. I put it in the resolution, but we could put it in the press release if we want to. It specifically says that these bills are separate and distinct from the legislative priorities, which were approved by the delegates at the convention, or something like that, just to make sure people know that they're different. But they don't overlap, and one of my arguments to the resolutions committee and to SREC is going to be, we're all trying to get more of the platform done, and more of what the delegates want passed into law. So there's no reason to view it as competitive, it's complementary. You know, they've got their list, we've got our list, let's both work on them, you know, together, and we're all working toward the same goal. So there's no reason to view it in any kind of acrimonious way. That's my opinion, that's all I'm saying.
We were talking, Matt and I were talking, that a lot of what we're doing here has before this session been a legislative priority. Like vaccine mandates, medical freedom, taxpayer school choice, taxpayer funded lobbying. And so when we get a new set of LPs every 2 years, it's like we drop what we were all working on and we start working on something new with
Property tax
LPs.
relief, yeah.
And so what we're trying to do is finish what we got started here. That's a lot of what I see this committee doing, is finishing issues that we've kind of left dangling a little bit.
That's part of it, and I think we've talked about this before. My view is that LP tends to be a lot of the hot button issues right about the time convention starts. And so those things kind of come and go and ebb and flow. But the stuff we're doing is bigger picture, and it's maybe not as sexy. It's not something that's going to get the delegation all wound up or enthusiastic about. It doesn't fit on a postage stamp. It's too hard to explain. I mean, I cannot explain de-annexation to people that their eyes roll back in their head. You know, you're never gonna get a lot of enthusiasm for that on the floor or an LP committee. But we can do things that will position the Republican Party, you know, as well as in a better light, as well as helping Texans. So that's kind of, so our pitch is kind of, our mandate is kind of different from LPs in my opinion. Okay, anything else, anything that anybody wanted to talk about? Everybody feeling okay?
Let me
Got
ask
to
you
work.
a easy question, please.
Yep, committee members?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is more for Jordan. Is she paying attention?
Yeah, Jordan.
Not
Is
to
she
you,
in?
not to you.
Okay. I used to be a deacon for a church, and my job was taking care of the AV stuff. And I have kind of a makeshift studio put together in my house, right? What format do you want the videos in? If I were to try to send you one, you look at it, you like it, great, you don't like it, okay, fine, I'll make a trip to Austin here and redo it. But what resolution should maybe be? How do you want it?
I'll give y'all all those details in an email. I feel like that would be the best.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'd have to double check everything
Yep.
for you.
All right.
Yep.
So.
Hold on, Randy. Linda?
I was just gonna ask Jordan if she could send us a sample of video, so we could get an idea of how much content we can cover in a 15-minute video, and that would kind of help us define our scripts.
Okay. And going off of that, I do a lot of writing for RPT, so if y'all need help with y'all's scripts, I can absolutely go through that in these next couple weeks. I love writing, it's my thing, so please reach out and ask me to help with that. Yes.
Okay. Yep, Randy?
No, I was joking with Ken and saying a 1040p format with.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, the one thing I'd like to see start the discussion is going back in 2014, first segregated out between platform and legislation. Because there's legislation that needs to be done, and then there's just a decision, this is what we believe, which is to me what the platform does. And out of that is a subset, is there what laws need to be added, changed, or whatever, to help us, do that. My vision back then is that prior to the convention, we had that basically a week-long deal with the platform committee meeting and all that stuff. Is that the idea I had was is 3 days were the platform, and the last 2 days are the legislative priorities, and they take it straight out of the platform. And it's a subset of those members of the platform committee that will be on the legislation priority. The biggest missing element are our legislators members that have to carry that load into the legislature. They need to have a voice in how we script or word or what and let him use their expertise to tell us what our expectations of accomplishment potentially could be. Because they can do that up front. And the
Yeah,
idea
that
with the
varies.
is that once it goes through the convention, because how many of our state representatives are there
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
convention? Little to none.
That's why I'm trying to get them roped in so they can use our things, so great.
That's what I like
Start tightening that
to
relationship a little bit.
especially with, if we do little quick 2 or 3 minute videos or whatever of their
Yeah, they don't-
legislation. I think we'll go away with advertising them, get them out front of what.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, you don't have to make it 50 minutes. If you can do it in 4.5, that's okay. They don't have to be 50 minutes long.
It's just to get the content done.
Unless
If
you're
you
Joe
get- if you get 4 of
Rogan,
them,
you don't
4
want to do a
minutes,
3-hour
then we'll let you do
video,
3 of them.
right?
So, right? Right, Becky, so if you do a 4-minute video or a 5-minute video, we'll
Absolutely.
let you do 3 of them.
The
For 15
the
minutes.
quicker, well, I don't know about 3 of them, maybe 2.
No, I'm just saying, instead of 50 minutes, if you do 3
Right,
5-minute videos.
Right, the quicker, the better,
Yeah.
because people have a very short attention span.
Yeah.
I mean, think about sitting through a Sunday sermon. Are you, and with rare exception, you are not sitting there, after about 10, 15 minutes, you're nodding off, ready to go eat lunch, you know? I mean, you need to say what you've got to say quickly, unless you're just an extraordinary speaker, the subject matter is just captivating.
Right, yeah.
There is no point, and you'll lose people,
Yeah.
and we're defeating our purpose. So 15 minutes is the longest I would make one of our videos for this
Right.
purpose.
I agree. Yep, Kiko?
Again, I apologize for talking too much. But I think it's very important that we get a lot of the grassroots, not just our SREC and our legislators involved with platform. I think as we start crafting or changing the platform, and I mean a little bit before, a year before the convention, what we ought to do is we ought to go into some sort of a podcast where we're interviewing members of the committee